Hello, y'all. I'm here to talk about family toxicity. And this is probably about the fifth or sixth video I'll put up. And hopefully I don't take it down. But my concern is that um, people that have the power to make things the way they are in family relationships don't seem to take any responsibility in the power that they have. Okay, just for some backstory, I am the black sheep of my family. And I've always been the black sheep of my family just simply because of my personality. Um, People think I'm loud. People think I'm obnoxious. People think I talk too much. And these people, when I say people, I'm talking about my family members. However, they like it when we at a social event and I make everybody laugh and have a good time. And, I'm the butt of the jokes, basically, when I think that I'm showing everybody a good time. Really, they probably laughing at me and not with me. At any rate, last night I had a really, busy day. And so I was tired. And I don't normally take naps. So I took a nap yesterday. And when I woke up, I woke up from the sound of my sister's voice. I have two sisters. From my mother, I have two sisters and one brother. And we all have different fathers. My two sisters are twins. They came first. And then my brother came 5 years later. Then 5 years after he was born, I was born. So my mother had kids at 15, 20, and 25. I was the last one. And I really believe that, my mother did not want me. She also basically hated my father for what he had done to her, which she probably, had a right to do. I hate some people, you know. Hopefully I don't take it out on my kids, but I hate some people. And my sister called to ask my mother to tell me not to contact her two daughters, or any of her two daughters' children. So she don't want me talking to her two daughters or any of their children. And so my mother tried to find out why. And she says, well, because she wrote a text to her daughter saying that, why do your mother hate me? And that's basically what I said. But I really, really wanted to know, why does she feel that way about me? The energy that she brings is horrible. One day I was standing in the living room of my mother's house waiting to be picked up because I was going out of town. And she came in the house, and I was just standing in the living room. And when she walked past me as she came in the house, I said hello, and she turned around and grunted. She said, just like that. I was like, wow, let me get the fuck out of here. This nigga is crazy, right? Because I try to avoid her at all costs. She's that evil. She's that mean. I really am afraid of her because she's like a loose cannon, and she wants to kill somebody. She done pulled a gun on her neighbors. You know what I mean? She done threw knives at my mother and my son. Trying to get to my son, she threw a knife, trying to hit my son, but she threw it real close to my mother. At any rate, the lady is literally crazy. Like, and I ain't talking about, haha, girl, you crazy, crazy. I'm talking about crazy, crazy. This motherfucker is crazy. So she's on the phone with my mother and telling her about how, if she doesn't stop me from reaching out to her children, she's going to fuck me up on sight, is what she said, you know. Because my mother told her that she wasn't going to tell me. And she said, well, if you're not going to tell her, I'll tell her. Hopefully, I don't whoop her ass when I see her. You know what I mean? This how she talking about me. And guys, I've never done anything to this lady. Never. In the 53 years on this earth, have I ever done anything to her? Or my other sister. Or my brother. I am just the type of person that I just cut you off. And I'm done fucking with you. I don't have nothing to say about you. I'm not finna get ready to go around and talk about you. I just cut you off, you know, and I'm done with you. You know what I mean? And if we in each other's presence, I have the ability to be cordial, to be nice, to have conversations. But outside of that, because if we're in the same space, it's because of our mother. And so in that space, I have the ability of being nice, kind, and cordial. And I don't have to mention none of the shit that you done. As a matter of fact, you know, I just go and do my life. You know what I mean? Do whatever I do in my life. I don't even worry about it. But I find it strange that my family is full of such toxicity. My mother and her siblings are literally the first generation of our family. So, far as I know, they don't have any cousins. They don't have any uncles. They don't have any aunties. They don't have anybody. They have themselves and they come from their parents. And I really believe that the reason why they don't have any family is because my grandfather moved here to St. Louis, supposedly from Memphis, and changed his last name from Tyler to Taylor. And so they don't have no connection with no of the people like other normal people do, you know, cousins and families and uncles. They don't have any of that. However, they've chosen, my mother and almost all of her siblings who had children has chosen a pathway of favoritism. Okay, so one of my aunties, one of my mother's sisters, did not have children, but all the rest of them had, I believe, 2 each. And my mother had 4. So nobody had more than 2. And nobody had more than 4. Within all of those relationships, though, no, not relationships, within all those families, because it's 7 of them. So 7 families, 6 had kids, 1 did not. And out of the 6 that was left, each one of those siblings chose a child that was born as a favorite. Now, my mother chose her son out of all the girls to be her favorite. My auntie Freddie chose her son to be her favorite over her daughter, and her daughter was the oldest. My auntie Lily chose her daughter to be her favorite over her son, and her son was the oldest. My Uncle James chose his daughter to be his favorite, and his son was the oldest child. My Aunt Alice only had 1 son, so she didn't have a favorite. So he was blessed to just have that 1 son. And then my Uncle Fred had 2 daughters, whom, as far as I know, they were no one's favorite, as far as my uncle was concerned. He loved both of his daughters. So he would be an oddball in the 6. So we're going to just talk about the 5 that had children that decided that they wanted a favorite child within their children. Now, 2 of the favorite children that are in those 5 are now dead, okay? And these were the youngest of my first cousins. They both died. One died from some type of cancer type of situation. The other one died. I don't know exactly how she died, but the assumption is that she died from an overdose. Although her mother tries very hard to make sure that nobody knows that. Okay. At any rate, these two who were chosen as favorites by their parents, one male and one female, have one other child each. And the girl that was the favorite from my Aunt Lily, she has a son. And the girl that was favorite from my Uncle James, also has a son. These two men are still alive and well in this world. However, they have no relationship with their parents. None at all. And because of that non-existent relationship, their children don't have a relationship with their grandparents. Okay? This is crazy that you have a child and this child is still alive and this child has children. And probably these children are getting ready to have children, but you have no relationship with that child and you cool with that. And nobody in the family ever questions it or brings it up or talks about it. None of that. They just go on with life as if it's okay to have a child that you don't have a relationship with because you've chosen, for whatever that reason is, because it ain't a good enough reason, that you don't want a relationship with your own fucking child. That just doesn't make any sense to me. At any rate, I found out this morning that the sister that called my mother last night and told her that she didn't want me fucking what? Calling any of her children or her grandchildren is the same type of motherfucker. I found out this morning that she has a favorite child of her two children, because that's all she got is two. Of her two children, she has a favorite. And within the favorite child that she has, those grandchildren are favorites. And so the grandchild that is not a favorite is the one who I spoke to today. And it has been said in the family consistently that this particular child should have been my child. You know, but she act like me, she talk like me, she wild like me, she look like me. I mean, all these things. So it just never really occurred to me until after I talked to her today that she basically is the current black sheep. But after talking to her and listening to some of the things that my sister have been doing, it is just, I don't get it that you can have children and choose. I mean, because I got three boys. And I don't love none of them no better than the next one. For real, they all get on my motherfucking nerve. But I don't have a favorite. And they all got three different daddies. And I don't fuck with none of them. But my kids are not attached to their father as far as I'm concerned. But that's the reason why I'm the black sheep in my house, in my family, because I'm attached to my father. That's what I believe. I don't have no proof of that. But for 53 years, I've tried to figure out why it is that my own mother doesn't seem to love me the way that she loves my siblings. Period. She don't. Well, I found out this morning that the sister that called last night, she feels like my mother don't love her. I can't dispute that because I know that feeling. And I hate the fact that people would sit and tell me, you know, their experience as if I had that same experience with the same person, because I didn't. First of all, my oldest sisters were born to a baby. My brother was born to a woman that had just finally turned into a woman. And then I was born to a woman who was tired of being all of that shit for everybody else. And so we experienced 3 different types of people. So we definitely going to have 3 different types of relationships with her. Now, I continue to try to have a relationship with my mother. It's difficult, emotionally and mentally taxing for me. But I continue to try to do it. Why? I don't know. Because I've cut her off for several years in the past myself. For her, her mouth, the way she talks, the way she speaks. And my sister that called last night, she's so evil. She's so evil and nasty and mean. I realize she gets that from my mother. She gets that from my mother. Yet my mother doesn't see herself in it. And I see her. I see her in it clear as a motherfucking bell. I see it clear. I don't know, y'all. The reason why I wanted to make the video, because I want to know, how come we don't call people on their bullshit? Because I'm going to tell you, I sit up and be on Facebook and social media apps with people who I know personally, and I know how they move. I see it in the relationships that I am privileged enough to see. I see grandmothers who mistreat their grandkids because of how they feel about the baby mama or daddy, and think that child is not gonna grow up and remember those feelings. They might not remember the exact incident or the shit that went down, but they remember how you made them feel. Because I remember how motherfuckers made me feel. Big time. And so to sit and watch people do things that you feel is like not cool and not say nothing, especially when you're in the family. Now, see, the people I'm talking about, I'm not in a family. I'm just watching. Although I will subliminally post a bunch of shit that make a motherfucker think, because I done had people come back and try to have a conversation with me about some shit I post directly about them to try to justify their behavior. So then that says to me, you know what you're doing, yet you don't change it. I don't even know how to go no further with this video. I really don't. Because I watched this, well, I tried to watch the show on Netflix last night about In My Mother's Garden. And although they addressed some issues, that they need to get real with that movie. They sugarcoating it. They sugarcoated a lot of stuff that they could have got real, where people could have got some healing. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm about. I'm trying to get some healing. And I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I am finally thankful for being the black sheep, because all that curses, that's them generational curses that's coming through on the family, they not going to come through on the black sheep, because she's not accepted, involved, or participating in the bullshit that the family has decided to be their generational curse. So, I'm thankful today, May 17th, that I'm the black sheep. And I'm thankful for the new black sheep, because I have a relationship with her that will be forever unbreakable now. So I might not have much of a family, but I got a few people that I can talk to if need be.